Welcome to the Michigan Den. Steve and Will here. This is a new channel. If you're familiar with us, we do a Detroit Den page that's dedicated to the Detroit Lions. We have a full channel dedicated to just the Detroit Lions. Check that out. It's right behind me over here. That's the name of the channel. This is the Michigan Den, dedicated to Michigan Wolverines football, basketball, hockey, Quidditch, swimming, volleyball, table tennis, and anything related to the Michigan Wolverines sports world. We're going to be on here talking about it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you don't miss any notifications, any shows. William, tomorrow we got UNLV coming to town, coming to Ann Arbor for an ass whooping, I assume.
The running Rebels.
Yeah. How do you think this game's going to go? What are we looking for?
Oh, man, I tell you this. They got an athletic quarterback, man. He's a lefty. They played Bryant University last week, and it's Bryant University.
$20, you tell me where Bryant University is.
It's right there in Bryant.
Yeah, North Dakota. Who knows?
Yeah, it's in Bryant somewhere in the world. Kobe Bryant's house, his old house. I don't know, but they spanked these guys. Like I think it was 44-14 or something crazy. Yeah, 44-14. Quarterback's athletic, but if you're asking me what I think the final score is going to be, I think it'll be something like 1,000,000-7 or something.
You think they get 7?
Yeah.
I mean, ECU kicked a bitch ass field goal just to say they didn't get shut out last week. I could, I don't know. I'm still salty about it, but
I ain't mad at you.
You don't gain anything by kicking a field goal with 2 seconds left. I mean, you're not even gaining your pride. But anyway, UNLV. What are we looking for from Michigan? There's some things I've got my eye on that I'm hoping we improve. The main thing is going to be the running game.
Yep.
I think our running game, that's been Michigan's bread and butter since Harbaugh's been there. Hey, we're going to line up. We're going to pound this football down your throat, and you're going to like it. That's what we're going to do. I didn't see much explosion last week versus ECU. I'm hoping that we run the ball more effectively tomorrow. What do you think?
So it's rinse and repeat for me from our last Michigan podcast, guys. If you didn't catch it, we talk about some of the players on there. You might want to, circle back and go catch that one. But we talked about how we wanted to see Michigan throw the ball around. We got our wish, man, in the sense of we did get an opportunity to see JJ slinging that ball, and he did look substantially better than he did last year. He looked comfortable. He was making it look easy. I felt like we also got something that we've been wishing for. I know me specifically as far as the bigger, stronger receivers, and we were really looking for a number one. He even talked about Roman Wilson. Should he be wearing the number one? And I think that's a role that he stepped into and earned a little bit in week 1. But I'm just looking to see us piggyback on that. Let's keep, put another building block on there and show that wasn't a fluke or that wasn't just because East Carolina was down. Let's show that against these running Rebels, who they got some athletes, man. And I like something that Shedeur Sanders from Colorado said about the athletes at all of these different levels of football. He talked about the biggest difference between, athletes in major Division I football and the other conferences as the D line and the offensive line, right? But when you talk about just finding athletes, that can play the corner and specialty positions and running backs and receivers, you can find guys that have an ability to do that. When I watched a little bit of UNLV last week, I seen athletes, man. I seen, some speedy running backs. They got some, a transfer from Pittsburgh. They got 2 smaller running backs that can really go. Like I said before, their quarterback's fast, Brumfield. He's a fast lefty that can throw it and he can run it. In their secondary, they got some speedy guys. So I'm looking to see, can JJ go out and do it again, man? Can Roman show that he's our number one target? He can be a go-to guy, if we get into a jam and we need to throw the ball downfield. Can Cornelius Johnson, step into a larger role? And, some of our other receivers, man. And I would like to see us run the ball a little bit, but I want to see us throw it.
I'm going to tell you that there's one guy I got my eye on. I bet you $1,000 you don't know who it is, William.
Does it involve us having an orgy?
No, it involves Mike Hart. Head coach, second half of the game. I've said before, I think Mike Hart is kind of being groomed into this head coaching role, whether that's at Michigan, if Harbaugh goes to the NFL next year, if he starts getting some offers from some other schools. I want to see how he calls a game, what his mentality is going to be. I mean, he's got all the tools in the shed. Is he going to want to run the ball? Is he going to want to throw the ball? I'm just curious to see how he coaches, where we're at in the game when he takes over in the second half. I mean, it should be like 35-0 when he takes over. So he's probably just going to want to run the ball. But I do have my eye on that a little bit because I said in our last episode, I think Harbaugh's last year is this season, not in a bad way. I think he's just going to go to the NFL. I'm just speculating. I don't have an inside source. I'm just gut feeling here. I think he's just kind of at his wit's end with the NCAA, with, the suspension. But I think Mike Hart is eventually going to be a head coach somewhere. So I got my eyes on him, Will.
I would absolutely love to see Mike Hart be the next head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, but I would like to see Harbaugh here for a few more seasons.
I mean, I would too. I just think he's, he might just be getting sick of the NCAA. It's just every offseason, his name's floating around in a negative manner. Is he leaving? Is he staying? I'm just speculating. I don't want him to leave. There was a time when I did, I'll be honest. I remember getting our asses just waxed by Wisconsin one year, and I said, dude, fuck Harbaugh. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I remember we had those talks, man. You had to talk me off the ledge as well a couple of times, man. It's been a journey, but I think now, we're here, man. We got some guys, and I think really, man, that Harbaugh situation in the beginning was a product of some of our quarterback play not being what we thought that it should be, and that kind of put a hitch in our upward mobility, our trending upward, man, and winning some of the tough games. We had decent quarterback play.
Are you saying that you didn't enjoy the John O'Corn days?
Oof.
Buddy.
That hurt.
Like Wilton
those
Spade,
were rough.
Yeah, I couldn't have walked them off campus any faster, if we're being honest.
That was a rough time, man. That's a time in my Michigan life that I'm trying to erase from my brain. Do you got that Men in Black, that little blinky thing? Yeah, if I could erase that, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Jake Rudock, and then we went to Shea Patterson, and now we got Cade, and then now we got JJ. So it's trending upwards. Maybe we get Bryce Underwood. That's a recruiting show. We'll talk about that later. Fingers crossed. Please come to Michigan if you're listening. We would really like to have your services. Coming off injury, last week, Will Johnson didn't play. That was a guy we really wanted to see. You think he is? Yep. I haven't heard of an official word yet. What do you think? Is he going to be playing tomorrow afternoon, I should say?
I haven't heard one way or another, man, but I'm super excited to see him get on the field, man. I think that our defense is playing pretty well. I know we haven't really gotten truly tested, quote unquote, yet, but I just think like guys like, Jenkins and Mason Graham, he's just a dog, man, like in the middle of that defense. So, and I think we got dogs at each level, Barrett, dog, Makari Page, dog, right?
Junior.
So then dog, so, and then insert Will Johnson, who I think is going to be the superstar of this defense. So I can't wait to see him get out there, man. I'm hoping that we're holding him off just kind of more as a precautionary thing, because it's probably a soft tissue deal, and they want to make sure that he's as ready as he can be for the season, so he doesn't have something nagging him all year when we get into our our conference stuff. But I can't wait to see him. I don't know that he'll be out there, but I'm hoping that he is.
Do you think our defensive line is going to play a little better? Because I was a little surprised last week that we weren't putting ECU's quarterback just in the dirt every other play. I mean, I thought our D-line should have just been manhandling their O-line. We didn't get any sacks, not a ton of pressure. I mean, we were fast and we closed on the ball very quick, but our D-line I don't think was playing up to their full potential quite yet. What do you think?
So I was kind of in that same spot as you when I watched the game the first time. And then I went back and I watched the game again, just looking at just some different things and just trying to see what we were doing offensively. Honestly, I'm, through the coaching, I'm always trying to look for little things to kind of steal and add to my toolbox for my own teams. And when I rewatched it, it kind of looked like we were keeping it very vanilla up front. It didn't look like we were doing a lot of stunting or a lot of exotic blitz packages or anything. So I think I'm hoping that was what's the problem was, as far as us getting more pressure and more sacks, and just really putting those guys, on skates back there. But I think, it's yet to be seen. I think if we didn't show it last week, we probably won't show it this week because we won't be forced to. And maybe that's something that they're keeping in their back pocket until we get through the beginning half of the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, we have, 2 more pretty much practices before we start getting into the Big Ten schedule this week with UNLV, next week Bowling Green. I mean, you could probably put those teams together and we,
Still
still
don't have a
just
chance.
dust them off.
100%.
All right, favorite time of the show, Will. Score predictions. What do you think? Who wins? You were close. I will tell you this. When we had that, you said what was like 52-0 last week.
I can't remember.
We had that shutout at the end of the third, and I was like, dude, if Michigan scores 3 more touchdowns, Will's gonna hit this bet. So I'll say you were kind of close. We just stopped scoring. Give me a score prediction. Who wins?
So this week, man, I honestly think we're going to score more points, man. I think we are going to get to that 50-point mark again. But I do think that the UNLV running Rebels they're going to score a touchdown, man. So I think we'll go with 52-7. That's where I'm going. Where you going? Yeah,
I'm gonna go 48-13. 48-13.
Ooh, yeah, they're going to put a couple points up.
1 touchdown, 2 field goals. That's what they're going to do. Okay. William, you need to tell these people how to make free money. It's just by purely listening. I am 4-0. Confirmed? Confirm it for me. I'm 4-0.
Listen, let me tell you guys something about this man. Not only does he make these predictions on our podcast, which you should be watching and taking note of, he posts them on Twitter too. So
it's out there.
So that takes care of all of the discussion. Oh yeah, you said it on the podcast, but did you really do it, or whatever? He literally,
I posted.
We posted on the podcast, and then he goes to Twitter. Bang, 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 bang. Here it is.
TikTok. It's on all of it.
Yeah. So guys, he's on fire right now.
So the line for the Michigan Wolverines is right now, as it sits. I have my phone. The line for the spread is 37.5. That's a little bit too much for me. So if you wanted to take UNLV, I understand. I probably wouldn't touch it, but I do see the over-under of 56.5 total points from both teams. I'm all over the over. There's a saying in gambling. Well, do you want me to tell you what it is when it comes to betting?
Please do.
You're never out when you're betting on an over, but you can always be out when you bet the under. A wise man once told me that. I'm going to hit the over. 56.5 total points. You just said you think Michigan's scoring 50?
100%.
And if UNLV scores a touchdown, that's 57.
Easy.
So you just hit your over. I'm hitting that 4-0 on the week. Guys, I would be all over it if I were you. So there it is. If you want to make some money, it'll probably be the time I lose, and I'm sorry, but that's what I'm rolling with tomorrow. I'm taking the over. I think it's a slam dunk. I sweated out that 19.5 last week at halftime. It was 20 points, and I had to say some prayers halfway through the second quarter, and God answered me. That's it for the show, guys. Like I said, brand new channel, but we do have our Detroit Den page dedicated to the Lions. So maybe you've seen us before, maybe you haven't. We're new to talking Michigan football, but we will be here every week. Michigan football, Michigan basketball, talking it all. We will be back with our recap after the game, and we will see you guys later.
Go Blue.